Okay, today we're going to talk about the altcoins that I actually have as my top 5. So I'm going to exclude Bitcoin and Ethereum and talk about my top 5 picks. So let's get into the video and we'll see how things work out. Okay, so we're back now and we're going to see talk about top 5 picks, and this one's going to be quite a silly video, right? Because it's quite important. Well, for me it's important, but to tell people what I personally do, right? So when I'm talking about my top 5s, what is my top 5s? It's very important. Like, a lot of people need to understand, what do I mean about my top 5, right? On this video, I'm going to exclude Bitcoin and I'm going to exclude Ethereum. Those are my top 1 and 2 anyways, but we're not going to talk about those today. But coincidentally, since I've mentioned my top 5, that I'm going to make a video on it, and I've been working, and it came to a situation where, you know, I've made a promise, but I'm like, well, hold on, my promise is kind of self-fulfilling. Well, I can't really mention these because, you know, I've got Binance as one of my top 5, I've got Polkadot as one of my top 5, I've got Cardano as one of my top 5, you know, we've got Chainlink as one of my top 5, right? And then a few others. So let's get into this and let's just do them one by one, and I'll tell you what my other not number 1 coins are, right? And why I think they're going to do what they're going to do. So number 1, Binance coin. Binance is the largest cryptocurrency exchange. As you all know, I've mentioned it many times. I've got it on my website, I've got it everywhere. And I've probably had more fights with Binance than anybody else, but they are fixing their problems. They do listen to your thing. So if you have a problem, get to their customer service and make a suggestion and just go at it. Trust me, they'll make the changes. I'm telling you, there's a lot of changes that they have done, which I'm really happy with. So with Binance, why it's pumping and why it has a good potential. So when Binance first launched, it had a higher number of coins compared to how many it's got now. So currently it's only got 154. I think they had 200 million, if I believe, and they had a lot of burns. Their plan is to have burn as much as possible until they hit 100 million. So after 100 million, they're not going to burn anymore. That's a great positive thing, right? For me, I can see they are physically appreciating their value by diminishing the supply, if that makes any sense, right? That's what they're doing. So this is why I'm quite bullish on this. And if I'm looking at the price, like say for example, even today, and when I'm, you know, it was like a few days ago, it's like $340 or $50, right? And I've been in Binance for a very long time. In fact, the last time I bought a whole bunch of Binance was when it was about $20. Yeah, $20. So I forgot how many pounds it was, but I've been in it since then. I normally used to, back in the days, I used to buy Binance to pay for the fees, because Binance just is cheaper with the fees on Binance. But then I realized that I can use that coin to lock it up and do all sorts of other stuff, especially when it comes to new currencies that they're launching on their platform. I can stake my Binance and actually get a little bit of those and accumulate. And then later on, what I do is once those are off, like, you know, they're gone into the exchange and they're trading, then what I do, I just convert them into Binance anyway. So I was getting more Binance that way as well, right? So currently we're looking at what, $261, right? We're looking at $261 from here. If Binance, so I'm just making a thing, so just let's do a little maths, and this is just me using a little bit of my logic, and I'm saying, well, Binance is currently at $260, and we know that's not the top, but we say in the future, so we're not even talking about this bull market, we say in the future Binance decides to get rid of this 54 million coins that they have, and they're only left with 100. Well, what's the potential of that doing if nothing happens? So at today's price, 261, and we have this 50 million going away. What do I think Binance will do? To be honest, that tells me Binance get easily 2-3x easy. So looking at that, and, you know, just kind of using that and saying 2-3x, I'm looking at this, but we don't know where it's going to go. So in the future, it could be worth even more because the supply is going to be kind of limited then. And that's what we like. We like supplies to be limited. Why am I a big fan of Bitcoin? We only have $21 million coins, sorry. So that's, for me, is a very bullish sign. But there's other factors involved, and they kind of involve the two coins I'm going to mention as well. Binance has Binance Chain, and I'm not going to go too much into detail regarding this, but Binance has Binance Chain. And there is another YouTuber who done a very good video on that, Coin Bureau. I highly recommend, watch him, it's really good. So he done this breakdown about why exchange coins and everything is pumping, and it's really good, right? And so for me, like, you know, when I'm doing my data, when I'm trying to make a video, a lot of the time it's hard for me to get the data because somebody else has already talked about it, or somebody else is talking about it, or somebody, and it's hard, right? But these are my favorites, right, for a reason. So anyway, this is what I'm doing. So remember, I'm not your financial advisor. Whatever I say here is use it for educational purposes. What you do is yours. What I do me, you do you, right? I always say that. But Binance has the potential, in my opinion, to easily 2x, 3x. I'm happy with that from today's price. I'm not even talking about when I bought it at $20 or when I bought it before that, prior to that at $3, $4. So that's Binance for me. I know it's going to do that. Now, it might potentially even do this within this bull market, even before we get this 54 million dropped out. Binance is going to do that over a period of time. Again, there's a lot of data involved in this. And I'm happy. So I know that Binance has the potential to be easily be, you know, say about $750, $800, maybe $1,000. So my target is if Binance hits $1,000, I'm happy. After that, if it goes to the moon, great, right? Then I'm still in it, by the way. Remember one thing I always say, whatever money I invested, I always try and take my initial investment out ASAP, right? So with Binance, I've already taken my initial investment out. And it's quite funny. It could have been a couple hundred quid, could have been a couple of thousand quid, but because I've already taken it out, it doesn't hurt me to wait around and see where it goes to. So I've got good, I mean, even in this bull market, I think it's going to do really great. So it's got some great potential. We might easily see a 2x, 3x from today's price. So that's one of them. Polkadot. So we're going to move to a coin number 2, Polkadot. Polkadot, it's trying to create an environment where every other cryptocurrency can come and trade and do whatnot, like a cross-chain platform. It's quite unique to what it's trying to do. It's trying to compete with Ethereum, and it's trying to compete in a complete different way. And I'm going to get to another one of my coins as well in a soon. And kind of some of them are, all of them are doing the same thing. With Ethereum, the biggest problem we got is everything is built on Ethereum. It relies on Ethereum. So if anything happens to Ethereum, well, you're going to have a big, you know, either a big crash or the market goes up, whatever. But remember, I said the other day as well, as a majority of the shit coins are actually built on Ethereum, like all the contracts and smart contracts and everything. I also have my coin, funnily, so I have a coin as well, which is on Ethereum smart chain, smart contract. But the problem, like recently somebody said to me, said, because I took all the coins off, because my coin was on another one of the exchanges, Uniswap, and I took it off. And they said, why did you take it off? I said, no, I'm not providing liquidity. And I said, why? I said, well, I feel bad because my people who want to buy my coin are buying a coin for $1 and paying 5, 6, 7, 8, even one guy actually paid $50 in fees. That's not fair. You buy one coin, any coin you want to buy, and you end up paying that kind of fees. It's not fair. So I said, you know, until that settles, I'm going to take away. Polkadot kind of comes into this and says, well, okay, so for me, you know, I know that Polkadot is going to be one of those blockchains where, because you've got the interoperability, I might be able to take my coin and put it on another chain using Polkadot's technology and doing it. And if I'm thinking about it, I'm sure other people are. So it has a good potential to be a competitor, right? And what I mean by that is competitor to Ethereum. So if you look at Ethereum's market cap, and today we're at 194 billion, I'm just going to look at that and say, well, if it's 194 billion and Polkadot takes 25% of that, that's already 50 billion, right? So just looking at today, we're working on current data, nothing more than that. So we're not going to go to the future anything. But if it can take 25% of the market, then we already know this $35 is going to jump higher. But again, we're in a bull market. It could easily go even more. So I'm looking at it, I'm saying, well, this could easily 2x, right? Worst case scenario, 2x. On the best case scenario, it could easily 10x. Right, because there is a lot of potential there, but they're still kind of working on the kinks and everything, sorting it out. So let's leave that one and go into my third pick, and I'll give you a kind of a summary at the end of what my picks are and what my number one and everything is. And then I'm looking at, so now I'm looking at number 3 coin, which is Cardano. Cardano is a project that's been going on forever, and I love the fact that they've been very honest about it and said, like, even in this bull market and everything, they said where the project is not finished, there's another 4 or 5 years until the project will be finally done. But what they are doing in between all of this, they're building the infrastructure, they're building the connections, they're building all of these, and it has good fundamentals. And there's another funny fact. Oh yeah, I just almost forgot. Cardano was built by an ex-Ethereum founder. Polkadot built by an ex-Ethereum founder. So they're all trying to kind of compete with Ethereum. Similar like Polkadot, Cardano has also decided to do some cross-chain stuff and bring a lot of Ethereum developers in. It still is a very small market, but it has potential, and I like the openness about it taking more, probably another 5 years. Based on that, I invested into Cardano when it was around, first time I invested, it was around 10 pence, and then it dipped down to about 6 pence. I'm talking UK money, 6 pence a coin. So I invested, and then recently I invested when it was around, what was it? It was, I think it was about, just recently it was about 89 or 90 cents, right? So just under $1 basically. I forgot how much it was in GBP, but I just took a whole bunch of money and I just throw it at it and said, leave it there, it doesn't matter. But I didn't buy this last batch I bought. I didn't buy for today. I bought it for later because I'm already in profit. As I said, I've already taken my initial investments out, so it doesn't matter. But ultimately, this has potential, and this bull cycle, I think it's going to go up. And I'll give you a little bit of a fundamental on this as well. Why I think some of these coins are going to pump high. So if you look at the market cap and you look at Bitcoin and you look at Ethereum and everything, a lot of people don't have that kind of a budget to go in, right? So we come back and we say, okay, we don't have 53,000 like currently. I think it's not even 50. It just jumped up actually. No, it's at 53, right? So we look at 53. So we're looking at it and we're like, okay, it's we've got a $53,000 Bitcoin. We can't buy one. So a lot of people are thinking of buying one of something, right? Most probably, majority of what they want to buy one of something. And they're also thinking, what's the next coin that could be the next Bitcoin? Because that's what everyone's selling, right? All of these guys want to be the next Bitcoin. They're all wannabes, right? So then they say, okay, let's have a look at Ethereum. But then they say, okay, do you know what? I could buy one Ethereum for this money and they could probably afford it. Or they could say, well, what if I take that money and put it into other stuff? Then they go down the chain and they see Binance and they say, oh, hold on, Binance is 260. It's a bit too expensive. Again, I'll probably get 5, 6, 7, depending on my budget. So let's just round it off. Just say £1,000 or $1,000 or whatever you're going to call it. For $1,000, you're only going to get a very small amount. Here, you're going to get just over half. Here, you're going to get about 4. So then they say, okay, let's go to Polkadot, and they say, okay, I'm getting a lot more, and that's what happens. They see I'm going to get a lot more, or they can go to Cardano and say, well, this one's doing really good. This guy is very active. The Charles Hoskinson, he's very active. He's doing all these promotions. The company's very active. They're constantly working. They're constantly trying to make partnerships. So why don't we go there? And they could put $1,000 and buy, $1,000 and buy 1,000 coins. And then just wait for it for the next 5 years, because that's what's going to happen, right? So these are the kind of things. And I think that's what's going to happen. A lot of money is going to just filter down. But when it filters down into these small coin, it's not a small cap, but if on a small coin, and it also takes about 50, say 25% of that market share, I could easily see this being more powerful than Polkadot. If you know what I mean, right? Imagine, at 30 billion, we are at $1 a coin. Imagine this, right? This one takes 25% of this and it's 50 billion. Or even more, but the price itself decides to jump up and go and compete with this, right? Become whatever. But I'm not saying it's going to be 35. In my opinion, I think it's going to hit like $4, $5, $6 maybe this bull run. But I think 4 or 5 years down the line, it's definitely got potential to be a $30 coin. So that's one to watch out for. Now let's talk. I did mention Chainlink, but it's not one of my coins actually. There's a reason behind this. If you are investing in Chainlink, you can invest in Chainlink. Chainlink, you hold and you speculate. That's all you're going to do. Chainlink doesn't provide us users, us buyers and sellers, us people in it. So now that we got that over, Yeah, so Chainlink doesn't really do anything for us. It's doing it for the thing, which is fantastic, by the way. It's one of those ones that I would put money in and just forget about it, you know, or just while the market lasts, I'll make as much money as possible. So that's that for me. So on my fourth coin, right? Sorry, I forget the numbering, but on my fourth coin, we've got Uniswap. Uniswap changed the game, right? It's one of the first comers. It changed the game. It changed it in such a way where it's a decentralized exchange. Anybody could launch their coin. This is one of the reasons why I launched my own coin, and I put it on Uniswap, and it was doing great until the fees became too expensive. And then until I had a moral obligation to say to all of the people who are buying my coins, guys, I'm going to take it off the liquidity. But anyone who's holding, I did promise them, I said, don't worry, it's all going to be there. I didn't collect any Ethereum or anything like that. It's all there. It's just, I've just kind of taken the liquidity out with the coin, but whatever Ethereum it collected, I left the Ethereum there, so people can actually go and sell if they want. So all of the guys that I know personally, and by the way, I've only advertised it to a person, and this is the first time I'm actually talking about it publicly. So the Ethereum's there for them to take it if they want, but again, the fees are the killer. You know, yes, the coin has been growing. Yes, it's, you know, currently I think it's like sitting at about $2-3, but the point is the fees, right? You're going to pay so high fees to enter, to put it into Uniswap, to take it out, and that causes a problem. And this is why Uniswap is struggling a little bit. Uniswap has the potential to be the RV, right? But I don't know yet. But then that will take me to my so this is my fourth favorite one. I do think they are going to solve the problem. When they're going to solve it is a question, right? But I do definitely believe they are going to come up with, by being the first decentralized exchange, by having all of these first kind of things, they first movers, right? They are definitely looking at the same issue, because their volume has been dropping, and which will take me to my coin number 5, by the way, but their volume has been dropping and they're losing money. So being such a large decentralized exchange, I'm sure they are working on something, and that's why I want to invest into that. That's why I'm already invested, by the way. So I don't know if I told you, there's some videos out there on YouTube actually where I've mentioned it. I've bought Uniswap when it was like $2-3, something like this. I can't remember, but yeah, it was like $2-2.50 or something like this, or pound, I think it was. So when it was pennies, basically, or kind of, to me it was pennies, I bought a whole bunch of them. Also, just as a disclosure, guys, every one of these coins, in fact, every top 50 coin on CoinMarket, I am invested. So I'm not trying to pump anything. I'm not doing anything like this. I don't believe in pump and dumps, and I'm only talking about my top 5 because I know these ones are more stable and they have a reason to be there. There are fundamental reasons to be there, what they're providing, right? And those are definitely there. So Uniswap, I believe, has the potential to go and grow even further and do something better. Now that takes me to my number 5th coin, right? And my coin number 5 is the one you want to basically look out. So let's go. It's still down there. It's none of these, right? It's here. Pancakeswap. Now Pancakeswap, for me is, and there are plenty more, by the way, sushi and this and that, there's so many more, but most of those are clones of Uniswap, so I'm not going into those, right? For me, number 5 is Pancakeswap, and I've had Pancakeswap after the launch. So what happened was, remember I told you where I used my Binance coins to go into their launch pool or launch pad or whatever they call it and accumulate some Pancakeswap. And Pancake was there, so I started accumulating some Pancakeswap. And then after they ended the sale, I said, okay, do you know what, I'm gonna go and buy, and I'm gonna drop a bonus coin here, and you'll see soon why. It was so funny how I found that bonus coin, right? So Pancakeswap currently is the solution to Uniswap's problem, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Pancakeswap is on the Binance change, and this is why Binance is also pumping as well. So remember, they're all interconnected in some form or a manner. Binance is the biggest exchange, Binance launches Pancake, Uniswap has a problem, Ethereum is connected, Bitcoin dumps, all of these, everything is connected, right? All these, you know, coins are somehow connected with each other. So Pancakeswap, it was like a fallback. So when Uniswap had all these high fees and everything, a lot of the liquidator providers and a lot of the traders decided to go into Pancakeswap because it was on Binance chain, number one, and it had lower fees. So it was all about the fees, right? The more fees they can save, the more money they could make. That's what it was. So a lot of money started filtering into this, and it just popped. And so it has good potential so it has potential. This is what I want to say. So it's not my number one coin, right? But this has potential to grow in value as long as Uniswap hasn't come up with a solution. Understand this carefully. So if Uniswap comes up with a solution, Uniswap's going to pop, Pancake's going to be dumped. I don't think anybody wants to be on Pancake, but they're forced to use it solely because of what's happening on Uniswap, right? Because of all the high fees. So whatever Ethereum does or whatever happens in the whole market, if the fees go down to near to nothing, everyone's going to be back on Ethereum, everyone's going to be back on Uniswap, and Uniswap's going to pump like hell. Remember that, okay? So until then, this is the one I'm putting on the radar as my least favorite, but it is one of my top fives, right, for this particular bull run, definitely, and even in the future as well. Actually, funnily, all of these are not specifically for the bull run; they're more for the future. So I do see good future on this. I do see it go, but again, as I stress all the time, like a broken record, take your initial investment out so it doesn't affect you. Now I want to come to a bonus one, how I discovered it. So I went on. So I knew Pancake, but I didn't look at the ticker, right? So this is a funny one. I didn't know the ticker, and I said, you know what? I need to buy some more Pancake. And so I go on Binance and I'm typing in Pancake, and somehow I mistyped cake and I wrote bake. And I saw bake and I saw it at a few cents a coin. And I said, oh, you know what? This is crazy. Market must have crashed, right? So I'm not even doing any technical. I'm not even checking the charts. I just went in. I said, I've got to buy some more. I've made some profits. I want to buy some more. And I had my BNB out there ready to buy. So I just hit buy, and I ended up buying Bakery Token. Yeah. Without doing any research, without doing anything, didn't even know it existed. I ended up buying Bakery Token. And funnily, it's my bonus number 6. And funnily, it's actually my top number 1 coin. So let's go into that because it is quite funny. Pancakeswap is like a copy of, I don't even know if it's here. Let me just have a look and see if it is here. No, it's 200 and something coin, right? Let's go and search it together. And where is it? Search. Bakery. There you go. Bakery Token. Where is it? It's moving up. It's moving up. So Bakery Token. This one I picked up for a few cents. And what's happened, I've noticed, is, as you can see here, it's just mental, right? It's just mental from where it was to where it's gone. This particular thing is like the fallback to Pancake. So when people look at Pancake, and it's on Binance chain as well, and then they see, okay, I want to buy Pancake, but Pancake's now $20 or something like this, right? So they're like, oh, okay, I don't want to go and buy Pancake. Let me go and buy something else, right? And funnily, Bakery pops up, and Bakery is a top coin. And you see Bakery on a lot of pump and dump schemes as well. But Bakery is not a pump coin. Bakery is just like any other decentralized exchange running on Binance. But it's one of those, like, remember I said how if you can't afford Bitcoin, you then buy the next one. Same thing happens if you can't buy Pancake tokens, and because of certain utility, what do you fall back to? You fall back to the second best one. Accidentally, I fell and I bought a whole bunch of them, which I've never been to Bakery Token exchange, by the way. Literally never, even till today, I've never ever entered that exchange. Also Pancake, I have actually seen it, but I've never traded on it. I'm a holder, that's all it is, right? I'm buying it for the gains, for the money, for this bull run. But then I see potential and I'm like, okay, this particular one is my number 1 coin. I'm going to put this on my thing and I'm going to say, for this bull run, I think this bull run, I'm going to make more money on my Bakery than I'm going to make on my Pancake, on all my others, right? Obviously, the more money I pump in is a different story. But this is what I wanted to just say to you. I mean, there are plenty of other coins out there. I mean, there are coins I would not touch. Like, for example, Doge I would not touch. I do have crow.com. So I'm kind of disclosing what I do have. I do have crow.com, but I use that for staking, and it's just stupid. You put like £500-600. So I put £500-600 worth of crow back in the days. I'm sure it's worth about 1,000 now. But the point is I put them in for their supercharger staking thingy. And you get like a few quid, like, so when you do the maths and the ratio, only a few pounds. So the more money you put in, they want me to put like £100,000 in for me to get 1,000. Stupid, you know, the percentage is so small. I'm not even bothered about them. So it's just there. I'm waiting for Upto.com to bring back the GBP withdrawal. As soon as they bring back the GBP withdrawal, I'm literally going to be selling everything and bringing it back. So coming on to that one, I did recommend crow.com. Now I'm not recommending it anymore because I've noticed their fees, exit fees, are just pathetic. Flat rate, you know, they charge you $10-15, £10-15. That's stupid, right? So yeah, they're getting greedy now. So I'm going to stay away from them. I'm not recommending them anymore. One other coin to watch, probably doesn't have as much use. They are a blockchain, is NEM. They do have a blockchain, but it's not used as much. It's not a popular blockchain. However, during this bull run, I've noticed whenever Bitcoin moves up, it also moves up, right? So I've got a good feeling this one has a good potential to pop, at least double, right? So we're at 53 cents at the moment. I've got a feeling this could easily, like, gut feeling, call it, right? But mostly logic, basically. I've got a feeling, you know, gut feeling or whatever you call it, it's going to pump a little bit, and it's going to go to maybe $1. So that's a good potential there. But again, I'm not giving you any financial advice here, right? There are a few others. In fact, Hobie Token is one I would put on my radar and double check on that. So I'm not going to talk too much about that one. I mean, there are multiple others. So, but again, when I'm focusing on gains and investments and secure investment in a sense, right? So I want to make sure my funds are safe. I want to make sure that worst case scenario, I miss the boat, I jump off, and you know, I haven't sold and the market crashes. And I want to be able to hold on to something, right? I know it's not going to just vanish off the face of the earth. And when I'm thinking like that, I always try to stick to the top 50 coins. Sadly, in a bull market, the top 50 constantly changes. They change because they're all competing with each other. The volume goes up and a lot of pumps going on. So when that happens, I change my strategy and I say, okay, I'm going to stick to the top 20, you know, but then if top 20 becomes heated up and they're constantly changing places, then I stick to the top 10, right? So to play the safest, to be in it for the safest, you know, worst case, you look at all your worst case scenario, the apocalyptic scenarios, and you say, right, the world's going to end. What do I do? Right? You know, the market's gone completely. Everything's vanished. What am I going to still have? Well, you're going to have those companies who have managed to get to the top 10. They're always going to be there. There's too much at stake for them not to be there. So they're just not going to vanish, you know, and that actually funnily includes Ripple, right? Ripple, I don't think it's going to just vanish off the face of the earth without having a fight. But is it a coin that I'm very bullish on? No. Did I ever own any? A little bit, but then I'm not interested. I was never interested. I didn't see the price action and I hated the manipulation. What I mean by that, the fact that the founders had a lot of coins, like a ton of them, right? And they were dumping it at the peak. Come on, guys, don't do that. I'll give you a good example. I said about my coin, the coin that I've launched. Yes, I kind of control it with 4 or 5 other people. So it's like we govern it together. And but one thing we don't hold it, so we're not benefiting from it. It's for the community to benefit. We don't hold it, and we have a burn schedule and we have a smart contract where we've put it on. It's on the smart contract. So I've said one way we've put it on the smart contract, and once I share the smart contract link, if people buy, that's it. I can't get hold of them anymore. I can't do anything. And I'm personally keeping nothing to myself. And we're also keeping a burn schedule as well, so we can burn the coins and then there. So for me, this is quite funny. A lot of people who know me close and know about the coin know this. I physically bought my own coin. I physically went to Uniswap exchange and bought my coins, you know, just like everybody else, just to prove a point that, guys, I'm not in it for the gains. All right, I'm in it for something else. You know, this is a moral thing. This is another chance for people to get certain things. And my coin is actually a utility coin for another software. So the software hasn't launched yet. This is another reason why we don't want to promote anything right now, especially during a bull market where we know the market's going to hype, the price is going to go, and then all of a sudden it gets expensive and then the market dumps and all of my investors are going to lose money. We don't want to do that. It's there for a reason. So that's for a future video or future, if you want to know more, then I'll talk about it. You understand certain things, especially when you talk about fundamentals, right? Fundamentals are only there, are required for a coin if you want to understand that does it have a future. That's fundamentals, right? You know, how it's sold, what it's doing, what it wants to do, when it will do it. All of those things are all fundamentals that we need to look at in order to understand that is it a good coin to be in for the future. But if you're in it for the pump, you're in it for the gain, you want to make some money on this bull run, it doesn't matter. I've mentioned it many times before, the top 400 coins, right? They'll probably just pump, all of them will pump. It doesn't matter where you put your money, you're going to pump it anyway. And but the most important thing is regardless how much money you make, regardless how hard it pumps, right? Regardless if today you bought a coin for £1 and it goes to £1,000, if you didn't take the profit, what's the point? You know, that's the most important. You got to take your, well, forget the profit, take your initial investment out. People suffer from these kind of things. There's a lot of pumping up schemes, right? So they enter and then they get burnt out. Why? Because you didn't take your initial investment out. You got to understand that. I'm going to go in, I want this to climb, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to be patient, I'm not going to panic. Another thing about panic I wanted to talk about was what I recommend. In a bull market, or any market actually, you will see how we go up and down, up and down, up and down. And what I want to say about this is, yes, we go up and down, but sometimes it's good for you if you bought something. So you buy, like I buy whatever price. So you buy something. Sometimes it's very good idea just to buy and set yourself a time frame. Say, okay, 2 weeks, a month. I'm not going to look at it. That's what you need to do. You need to not look at it, right? If you don't look at it, you're not going to be emotional, right? And if you don't have the emotion, then what you'll realize is, you know, when you see the dips, it's not going to make you panic. Your mindset will be different. You know, you're made out of steel. You're like Superman. You know, so you got to have that thing and say, you know, whatever happens, that's when I want to get out. Like I talk about Bitcoin. Every single Bitcoin that I own is, well, I call it locked up, and it technically is. I cannot access them. I've put them somewhere safe, and I cannot access them until 2030. I can send money to them, but I can't take it back out. So I've done something quite crazy. I can send money to that wallet, but because I don't know, so for me to withdraw, I will need the seed keys. I don't have the seed keys on me. And I did that on purpose, because until 2030, I don't want to take anything out. So it doesn't matter. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, you're minted, you're this, that. No, bro, I'm poor. I've got nothing. I've got no Bitcoin, right? But that's because I'm not going to have anything until 2030. So come to me in 2030 and talk to me, and whatever the Bitcoin value is, talk to me then. That's a different story. But until then, nothing. You know, that's not what I'm in it for. My only fundamental, as I said, it's a way of me preserving my wealth. And it's not, you know, I wasn't minted. I wasn't born with a golden spoon. I'm just a normal guy. But I saw an opportunity. I took that opportunity. I invested every penny I could, and I constantly dollar cost averaged in, or pound cost averaged in, whatever you want to call it, right? Every day, every week, every month, right? If I could. So I kept on putting money in that I didn't need. The money that I would have put into a savings account or something like this, or into the bank, rather than putting it in a bank and getting nothing for it, I kept on putting it in Bitcoin, and I didn't look. So because I wasn't looking into the account and seeing, oh, how much my balance is, because I can't see it, I created a situation to myself where I cannot see how much a Bitcoin is worth. I can see it on the charts, but I don't know what my total portfolio is. In fact, I don't even know exact number of Bitcoin I have, right? So this is what I've done. I've created a situation. I can't see my own wallet. I can only see it on chain if I want to, but then again, that confuses the life out of me. But that's what it is. But creating that situation for myself is a way of kind of controlling my emotions and saying, well, I'm not going to look at it. It's only going one direction. And yeah, don't worry, I've kept the seed safe. It's not online, it's offline, and it's in 2 different locations. So if one fails, I've got another. So don't worry about that. And also the places I've put it in, there are people there obviously, but those people would have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're even holding for me. So yeah, I've gone like a few crazy steps out of my way to basically make sure I protect myself. So I am going to close this one for today, and I'll make another video tomorrow or something if I got the time, and deal with it. Also, as I said on another video as well, so there's a lot of changes I'm gonna have in the life, so I'll talk about all of those things, and I'll probably start doing some vlogging and this and that as well. But I'm thinking about it. I haven't really made my mind up on what I'm gonna do. But until then, guys, stay safe. Don't panic too much, don't worry about it. BTC is just doing exactly as it's supposed to, as we predicted it, right? There's nothing here indicating anything otherwise. So we've still got we've got 1 minute, so I want to be here for this 1 minute where the candle is about to close, and so far we can see on the hourly it's indecisive, right? This candle is an indecisive candle, but if you look at it, it respected the line perfectly, and the bulls have managed to keep it up. And as I said, the only thing to look at now is just the Fibonacci's and where we're going, rather than looking at where we are. And even if you are today, if anybody's got an opportunity, buy some more. In fact, I'm going to stop this right now and I'm going to go and buy some more Bitcoin. So that's my idea. I want to load up a little bit more and just carry it up to the top, because this is a perfect opportunity. And remember, this wick was Michael Saylor, right? Michael Saylor bought at that particular wick. Every second he bought $2,000 worth. All right, so other than that, guys, take care, look after yourself, like, subscribe, share with another. Please smash that like, that's very important. Also, if you want to be notified, hit that bell button and press all. So until then, until next one, guys, see you later. Bye bye.